Here is our MOR Article 7, Riverfront Park. Riverfront Park is a public park in downtown Spokane, Washington, with a rich and varied history. The park is situated on Havermill Island and is surrounded by water from the nearby Spokane Falls. The falls were once a gathering place for the Spokane tribe of Indians, as a source of food and beauty. In the late 1800s, pioneers settled here and started the city of Spokane. James Glover was one of these early pioneers and is known as the father of Spokane. After seeing the falls, he settled nearby and called the setting one of the most beautiful in the West. Over the years, the early settlers surrounded the falls with sawmills, flour mills, bridges, railway depots, warehouses, and other urban improvements. In the process, they built a city, but lost track of their river. Many Spokanites would later admit they had forgotten it was there. The railroad industry fueled the city's growth, and rail yards covered Havermill Island. In the 1970s, an effort to rejuvenate the central business district and resolve concerns over the pollution of the Spokane River began. A consultant suggested that Spokane try for a worldwide event, the World's Fair. In preparation for the World's Fair, the Spokane River was cleaned up, the rail yards were removed, and the Great Northern Railroad depot on Havermill Island was demolished. The clock tower that still chimes today is all that remains of the depot. Spokane is the smallest city to host a World's Fair. Yet, the fair drew more than 5.2 million visitors from around the world during its 6-month run. In the end, most of buildings and temporary structures were torn down, leaving big holes and mounds of dirt. 4 years of hard work transformed the site into an urban park featuring lush meadows and numerous overviews of the spectacular Spokane River Falls. The fair structures were converted to a convention center, an amphitheater, and an opera house. The defining feature of the park is the pavilion, a 145-foot tall metal frame and wire shell that formed the U.S. Pavilion tent during the World's Fair. Today, the park hosts a riverfront carousel, IMAX theater, sky ride over the falls, an ice skating rink, and the Spokane River Centennial Trail. The park plays a major role in the annual events, Hoop Fest, Bloomsday, and Pig Out in the Park. Hoop Fest is the biggest 3-on-3 street basketball tournament on the planet. In one day, the park and downtown area host 456 basketball courts and over 7,000 teams. The Lilac Bloomsday Run, also known as Bloomsday, is an annual timed road race in Spokane, Washington. It is held on the first Sunday of every May and hosts over 40,000 participants. Pig Out in the Park is an annual food and music event that features food vendors and free concerts. Riverfront Park continues to be a popular gathering place for local residents and tourists. Approximately 2 million people pass through the ungated park each year. The park hosts numerous concerts, fireworks shows, and a sculpture walk along the Spokane River Centennial Trail. It includes 21 sculptures, including a representation of the Bloomsday Runners along Spokane Falls Boulevard, called The Joy of Running Together. Other sculptures observed on this scenic trail are the world's largest radio flyer wagon, an Australian sundial, and a Vietnam Veterans Memorial. The area that once was a mess of railroad yards and grimy warehouses is now Riverfront Park, a shining example of reclaiming an industrial eyesore.